Good afternoon. Exam rasara? Huh? Okay. So, this week's current affairs, any of you have gone through it? Have gone through it? So, what are the main current affairs which were going on? Disqualification. Okay.
Modi recently announced open ITU.
Okay. So, any idea? No idea?
Arrest.
Okay.
IJC.
Indian news. So, which was burning right now? Defamation, right? So, anybody of you has encountered or faced defamation? Huh? No? No? You never? Maybe last week or previous to one, maybe last week I think so. We went to a shopping mall. Like my close people, like they got it's not like a defamation. They generally in the conversation, some people came and asked, where is that clothing? Like where is that item? So they thought that they are the sales girl or sales boy. So generally you people heard, right? Huh? Heard, right? So it's not defamation. It's by mistake. Okay. So fine. We'll go into today's current affairs. So this could be in the YouTube also. So first and foremost thing I am going to discuss with one important thing. Is it visible? Huh? Just the topic. Road to ending tuberculosis. Any one of you have idea regarding what is tuberculosis means? It's a disease. Okay. Then apart from this, what it is? Huh? So what are the causes? Bacterial infection, right? So TB is the one diseases. India is the first country top in the TB cases. You know it, right? So there are a lot of reasons why India is the one of the top in this tuberculosis. But the program for the tuberculosis not yet started like in the recent years. It has started something around 1960s, like for the elimination of this program. But still, it is unending goal, right? According to the UN, WHO, they are going to end this TB by the 2030. You know, Sustainable Development Goals, UN SDG. So, according to by the end of that time, they are going to end this tuberculosis. So, it is a main issue which was plaguing in the one of the diseases. So, we'll talk about this one. So, there is a report which was given. There is a body, there is a fund called Global Fund. We'll talk about this one also. Just when you are seeing the paper, just I am going to highlight the things. So this Global Fund is important. If you are going to the paper, just make note of these things. So next, there is a Stop TB Partnership. These are the partnerships. These are efforts which are going to for this tuberculosis elimination. So there are the three areas which this person has mentioned, like in the later stages you want to do, like he has suggested some way forward things. So we'll discuss about this tuberculosis. So is it visible? No? Fine. So tuberculosis is infectious disease caused by bacterium. What is the bacteria name? Mycobacterium tuberculosis. The questions can be asked which of the following, like in the prelims, the questions may ask that which of the following are the bacterial infections. The questions can be formed like that. For example, what you can say, malaria. Any idea? It causes a virus or bacteria? So then leave that one. About the leprosy, bacteria. So Mycobacterium leprae. Okay. So that kind of questions may ask. Like prepare some of the important diseases, see whether they are causing through the virus or bacteria, or some can be caused to what you can say parasites. Okay. So TB usually affects, so generally we know that TB usually affects only the lungs, can be only affected, but there are other areas also the TB can also be affected, that is the brain, kidneys, spine, etc. These areas, these TB can be affected, you know it. This is a very factual data. Generally people miss that TB is only done through what you can say, only through the lungs. Okay. So fine. What are the symptoms? This is a very normal thing. So these are the basic information. Just go through it. TB usually pulmonary TB. What is it? Pulmonary means? Any idea? Lungs. Okay. Pulmonary TB or lung TB. So you know these things like persistent cough of 2 weeks or more, chest pain, shortness of breath, blood of sputum. These are all normal things. So you need to look after these things. So extra things. Symptoms of the extra pulmonary TB means beyond lungs. Where it got affected, that's the brain TB, that is meningitis. Next one, lymph node TB, enlarged lymph nodes, bone TB and abdominal TB. These are all the other things it can cause. So these are the basic symptoms of this TB. Next one, diagnosis. This is the very, very important thing where countries are lacking. Why? Because we'll talk about it later. But see, you know X-ray. Through the X-ray you can diagnose this thing, and there is also called sputum microscope. Do you know sputum means? Any idea? Sputum, we generally split right, that is the sputum. Okay, generally if we get the cough or cold, we will get something right, that is called sputum. So they will take that sample and they do that microbiological tests. Okay. Next one, there is another diagnostic test to deal with the lymph nodes, like under TBS, that is called FNAC. So these are the very important thing. Fine needle aspirational cytology is the test used to treat used to diagnose which of the following diseases: TB, malaria, dengue, like that they will give. They will ask about the test name. What is that one? Fine needle aspirational cytology. This is a test. Okay. Next one is, so no need of going deep into this kind of test because you are not going any medical examination or something. Just know the test names. Okay. So next one is the, in addition, NAAT, nucleic acid amplification test is increasingly being used for diagnosing TB. So one recent thing is called TrueNAT. Okay, this is the test name to detect what? TB. Next one, in addition to this, it's fine, we'll talk about this drug resistance things also. So next, coming to the spreading, you know right, how generally it spreads. So this could be a potential prelims, like they may ask the things. So however, TB does not, you need to remember this thing, not spread through what? Handshakes, using public toilets, sharing food and utensils and casual contact. So but it can be spread through like sneezes, coughs, talks, sings, పాటలు పాడితే కూడా జరుగుతుందంట. Okay, fine. So these are the basic information, but you need to know like why I have even though it's a basic information, why I have taken, because you may fall into the trap. They may ask that in casual handshakes also you may get the TB. So first of all, Just know the basic data of this one. India continues to be the largest contributor of what? Global TB cases. There has been a decline in the number of cases in the 2002 reporting to TB cases also improved in the 2021. So, there is a decline in the cases. Okay. Incidence of the drug resistant TB also went down 20% during the period from 1.49 lakhs in 2015 to 1.19 lakhs. So, we will talk about this, what is this drug resistant TB also. Okay. So, the thing here is what? Went down. Okay. So, next one, India accounts for 28% of all TB cases in the world according to the global TB report 2022. How much? 28% of all the TB cases in the world. And next one is the largest contributor. These factual data is very, very important because TB question, if the exam in the exam they ask about anything related to the TB, any question like mains question, these data is must. Why? Because everybody know regarding the TB or one thing or something, they will try to attempt this. The change here is by using this data only. So, data is the must for such kind of questions because it is a very, very common question. Okay. So, next we will talk about the drugs. There are so many kind of drugs, that is called the first line drugs, second line drugs and third line drugs to treat TB, right. So, these drugs are very, very important because which of the following are the drugs, like, or they may directly ask that pretomonid is a drug to treat which of the following disease. Like if you see in this discussion how many prelims questions we have framed, right, you need to think like that one. So, main drugs which are famous to treat this TB is isoniazid and rifampicin. These are the very common drugs to treat this what you can say TB, like these bedaquiline also. These are the very common drugs. So, just focus on these drugs, what are this one. Okay. So, next we will talk about this one, MDR TB and XDR TB. MDR TB means what? Multi drug resistant TB. What it means? Multi drug resistant TB. So, what it means, if the disease condition is unable to treat by the first two powerful drugs, unable to treat. So, does not respond to what? Isoniazid and rifampicin, two most powerful drugs and first line anti-TB drugs. If they are not responding to it, then it is what? Which TB? How many? Two. Okay. Rifampicin and isoniazid. Next one is XDR TB, means extremely drug resistant. The word here is what? Extremely drug resistant. So, does not respond to the second line anti-drugs, anti-TB drugs. I have talked right here. So, it does not respond to the second line of first line, second line, third line, like the drugs condom. If you have attacked with the disease, generally if you got fever, generally you will take the dolo. In the normal cases, if it is something malaria or something abnormal, you will take some antibiotics, right. Generally we do it, right. Same in the case. Okay. So, this may be very important thing. Yeah, fine. So, we will talk about this one. So, there is only one vaccine, approved vaccine in the worldwide, that is called BCG vaccine, only approved. So, the question can be framed like there are like so many kinds of vaccines to treat this TB. The only approved vaccine is what? BCG vaccine. So the program, if you see the national TB program, it is when it was started 1962 with, so the word here is BCG means what? Bacillus calamate guerin vaccine. Very, very important. Okay. Next one, the program has started then. Next, it was continued in the 1993. So this year is very, very important. Okay, why? Any guess? So in this meanwhile, 1962 to 1993, some 30 years has gone, right? So but there is no much efforts, like much much results to deal with this one. So in the 1993, there is a program called Revised National TB Control Program. What? Revised National TB Control Program. It is a main theme of here is it's a free diagnosis and treatment. So why I have marked this 1993? Because if you count up to the 2023, how many years has completed?
30 years.
30 years, right? So the questions can be framed like that. Like if you see the landmark years are the very key for UPSC to frame the questions. So it was talked where, if you see, just we'll talk about this one. So 1993. Next, using, there is a strategy, very, very important, that is called what? DOTS. What is it? DOTS means directly observed treatment short course strategy. So it was proposed by whom? WHO. What is this DOTS means? Directly observed treatment short course strategy. So it has 5 main components, nothing much here. One is what? Government commitment should be more. Next one is what? Case detection should be done properly. Next one is what? Standardized treatment. Generally, if you got affected with the TB, in the normal case, 6 to 9 months is the standard treatment. 6 to 9 months. Generally, the medicines, right? First line medicines or second line medicines. If you are in the normal state of the TB, if you are following this 6 to 9 months medicines, the TB can be you can reach out the TB. Next one is drug supply. Next one is what? Recording and reporting. These are the very, very important things of the DOT strategy. So DOT strategy is related to which diseases? Which disease? TB, right? So this next one is, so there is a strategy plan. So national strategy plan for TB when 2017 to 25, right? So it's still in the process, right? You can expect a question from TB whether in prelims or in the mains. So the vision of the NSP is what? TB free India with 0 deaths, diseases and poverty due to the tuberculosis. Goals of NSP. So there is a vision, this is what? 0 deaths. So the goals are what? This is the main important thing. Elimination of TB in India by 2025. According to which strategy? National strategy plan for TB. Got it? So 4 strategic areas that are called what? Same. Detect, treat, prevent, build of what? Any infrastructure, anything related supporting to this TB treatment. Got it? So next. So national TB elimination program, we have talked about this. It was came when 2020. The target is what? End TB by 2025. What is the WHO like UN target? 2030. So India is planning to reach this, end this TB by 2025, right? So there is an ecosystem. Do you know any Hindi or Telugu word for tuberculosis? Like Kshaya Vyadhi. Do you heard that name? Anywhere, somewhere? Kshaya Vyadhi. Kshaya Vyadhi is what? TB, tuberculosis. So why you need to recall or remind that kind of names? Because it will help you to deal in some kind of questions. If you take this one, What is this one? Right. Nikshay is a portal. There is a portal, there is an ecosystem. If you take this Nikshay, it's a national TB information. Generally, reporting of the cases, all digitization can be done through this Nikshay portal. Okay, reporting all those things. So, if you remember Nikshay, now you can remember, right? Nikshay is related to what? TB. So, next one, there is an Yojana which supports this TB people. That is what? 500 rupees per month they will be deposited into your bank account. This is the Yojana which the next very important thing which was very famous is called TB Harega Desh Jeetega campaign. So any one of you has idea that who is the brand ambassador of this one? TB Harega Desh Jeetega. Yes. Why Amitabh Bachchan? Sholay Disarana. Why? Why Amitabh Bachchan? Yeah. He got survived from what? TB. That is the reason why if you open any kind of like TB Harega Desh Jeetega campaigns, you can see the Amitabh Bachchan figure. If you in some theaters also they are playing this TB things also apart from the smoking thing. Okay, so very important, TB Harega Desh Jeetega. So you have seen all those things. Let's know. Wait. So there are some international efforts. Okay, what are those efforts? NTB strategy. By whom? WHO aims to reduce TB deaths 90% and cut new diseases 80% by when? These targets are very, very important when you are writing your mains answers. Okay. Next one is one thing we are talking about this one is for Global Fund for Fight AIDS, TB and Malaria. This is it is generally called as Global Fund. Why? Because it is a very big name, right? AIDS, TB, malaria, but 3 diseases. So which of the following diseases in the Global Fund? AIDS, TB and malaria. It is a multi-stakeholder. Do you know what is a multi-stakeholder means? Not only restricted to a single government or single company, single organizations. Anybody can participate into this funding mechanism. When it got established? 2000. How many years got completed? 20 years, right? There may be a chance. So if you are seeing anything, just see in a bracket of 2020 to 2023. Okay. Did you get what I am saying? 2020 to 23. So these are the years you need to focus. Based on these years, if you see any of the interventions done by the government or international organization, whatever it may be, which has completed something 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 25 years, 30 years, 50 years, 75 years, 100 years. See 5 years completion by this 2022 and 5 years for this 2023, because the question can be asked, because if you see the UPSC exam, like if you are going to write prelims in 2023, but you need 2022 data also, right? The completion can be 2022 or 2023. So when you are looking any 5 years thing, just I have told you at 1993 regarding when RNTCP. So it is a link with what? 2023, right? So we are talking about this Global Fund to AIDS TB. When it was 2002. It is linked with what? This one. It's a completion, generally birthday, right? We generally see. Same thing. This strategy is very useful. Like it should be very logical also. If you see the previous year's questions, if you analyze the previous year questions, you can find some of the questions based on these things. Not only restricted to this subject, any subject. It could be like any subject. One important thing I forgot to tell you, like in this discussion I have not mentioned. If you see 1922-23. Mohenjo-daro was excavated. Do you know what is Mohenjo-daro? What is it? Okay, I thought it's movie. Huh? So it got excavated, right? How many years got completed? 100 years, right? So, like generally, if you open the paper, you may encounter like Hindu has going to publish an edition exclusively regarding this IBC. So it costs something around 700 or 800. They are going to publish this one. So you don't need that publication, but you need to remember these kind of things when you are dealing with these things. Okay. So global fund, we are talking about this global fund to 8 TB, right? It's a multi-stakeholder. 2002 secretary. Where is this secretariat? Geneva. Where is Geneva? Switzerland. Okay. It's hosted by whom? WHO. It consists of a board, 20 voting people and 8 non-voting people. It may required or not. We don't need such kind of data, but these data is important. Okay. So next one, other thing is what? Stop TB partnership. Next one is what? Global Alliance for TB Drug Development. These are the what? International efforts. Got it? So fine. So that's fine. We have done all those things, but there are some challenges. Why we are unable to treat this or unable to get rid of this? So what are the challenges? Main challenge is what? Poverty. Right? Poverty is a one factor, like you can link it with anything. Health factor, right? If you are poor people, there is an aspect of depreciation in your health, your literacy status, everything can be linked with the poverty, right? So poverty is the one element. Next one is what? Under nutrition. If you are following this 6 to 9 months period, right, you need a good medication. Generally, if you are going to the fever or something, you will take some like food, right, lot of food to get the energy, right? So when you are dealing with such kind of diseases, you need some good amount of food, right? So next one is under nutrition. Next one is stereotyping. Why? Because this is the one important factor. Under reporting, generally you may feel, right, if you got something AIDS or something, right, or something TB, you generally tell to your next neighbors, right, I am experiencing this. For example, if you take the COVID also, lot of people has not told to their neighbors or not done any tests, right? Why? Because they may look down upon them. So that's the reason why underreporting is the one major issue to deal with this TB. Next one is what? Comorbidity. What is this one? More than one diseases. Like apart from the TB, you'll get something. You also have BP, diabetes. These are all things that are there, right? So they may also. It's a challenge to deal with this one. One important thing is what? HIV, TB. It's more because you are less immune. If you are a HIV affected patient, you are less immune to deal with the diseases, right? If you got this TB with this HIV, then it is impossible to treat, right? This is one factor. If you take the Assam is the one state has the highest rate of this HIV TB. Okay. So next one is was diagnostic tools. Like we'll see that what you can say, the article will tell about this one, diagnosis tools. Like only this small things, but there is no rapid tool. Generally, if you see this what you can say, COVID, generally within a span of 2 to 3 minutes you can came to know that test, right? But it took more time because the process is different, right? In the chest X-ray you cannot detect particular where the location is. What? Cheptar, okay, but not like 100%, right? So this is one of the reasons. Just treatment. So treatment mechanism. Why? Because some people, like not some people, most of the people are not following this 6 to 9 months. because it is a standard treatment. The word here is what? Standard. You need to follow whether you are in a decreasing state of this TB or whether it is an increasing state. You need to follow the 6 to 9 month period which was prescribed by the doctor. Okay, you should not like 2 days medicines తీసుకొని, you should not leave that one. Okay, this is the one issue. Next one is COVID-19 has aggravated more because lungs got affected, right? The same TB, it's also get affected in what? Lungs. Next one is what? There is a gender divide. Obviously, it's very common thing. Next one is what? Smoking and lifestyle. What are these lifestyle diseases? Tension, anxiety, we got lifestyle diseases. Sir, a question అడుగుతా చెప్పండి. Which of the following in all the people in the class who doesn't have any anxiety or stress issues? You don't have any anxiety or stress issues? Generally in a day, in any one point of time, you never feel anxious or stress? The word here is very less, but 100%. It is an 100%. What? Is there anybody in the world who are stress free and anxiety free? If you reach nirvana also, it's impossible. Okay. So don't stress yourself. Because why I have stopped? Because if you see the UPSC preparation, these exam preparation, it's like a hectic journey. Like maybe if you have seen so many friends, like with the co-friends with you, they are working, they are earning something. There is so much pressure on us. Not only what you can say monetary terms, there is also emotional stress on us. Like they have expectations on us. We have expectations on the exam. Okay. So just leave, like just be in a strategy that whether you will get it or leave it. Don't stress yourself, don't ruin your health, because I have seen lot of people have lot of anxiety issues. Okay, you know one thing, COVID has opened something that is called mental health illness. Like even though lot of people got what you can say not only for physical illness, they got mentally ill because of this COVID-19. Why? Isolation, right? Generally 30 days isolation or 15 days isolation, like you are throwing into a single room. It is like you are practicing the solitary confinement. Do you know solitary confinement? What is solitary confinement? ఒకరిని తీసుకెళ్ళి ఒక రూమ్లో పడేయటమే. Do you want to try it? No? So do you know what you can say? What's his name? Savarkar. V.D. Savarkar. Do you know Savarkar? He is one of the freedom fighter. I think most of the life, nearly 20 years I think so, he has spent his life in the Andaman jail. That is in a solitary confinement, in a single room. So he has worked for what? For the nation only, right? So why he need to encounter such kind of things, right? If you've been through in the Bharat Darshan Yatra, visit that Andaman jail. Okay. So don't be anxious. ఏదైనా సరే ఏం కాదు. There is a second option will be there. Okay. Don't stress yourself. My sincere suggestion is, it's just an exam. Okay. చిల్లు పట్టండి. So fine, we have talked about this one. Where I have stopped? So as generally, why when I am discussing any topic, I generally give this mains or prelims question for your practice. In spite of various efforts and policies, tuberculosis is still a big problem in India. Discuss various reasons for this. Give some solutions to prevent tuberculosis. Right? This is the mains question generally. So I have talked about efforts policies, right? Next one, how can be it's a big problem, like we have talked about these challenges, right? Next we need to talk about some what? Solution. There are a lot of solutions, like by changing these challenges you can get the solutions, but in this article he has given some solutions to deal with this one. So what is this one is, first solution is what? First solution he has talked in this article is wide use of adult TB vaccine. This is the first solution he has given. Okay. So if you stop countering this adult TB, it's unable to spread to the child also, right? For example, mother giving feeding to the child, right? It could be a potential thing, right, to spread the TB. So next one is what? So lot of people has like fear factor with this vaccine, right? Do you know vaccine hesitancy? The word vaccine hesitancy, any idea? So you are fearful of getting injected. So he has suggested that try to develop some new TB drugs. So instead of this injection free drugs. Okay. Next suggestion he has given that what? AI assisted radiology with 90-second reporting and 95% accuracy. He has suggested this one. This tool should be developed. So these three suggestions he has given in this article. Okay. So got it? So any doubts regarding this TB explanation? Is it boring? So you need to know this is the basic. So even though it's a basic disease, you need to know, because if you become what you can say, if you become any collector of a district, main issue to deal with here is health aspect. Okay. One important thing, at least you should know basic things about this one. Okay.
Recently, Modi introduced the scheme called including the panchayats to identify the TBs.
Maybe, I hope so, but there are a lot of interventions to deal with this TB. Okay. So,
It's a program
so,
included for the TB.
So fine. Government will attempt to open corridor to Sharada Peeth in POK for devotees. Okay. Even though this article is very small article, it has a great importance. Why? Because any one of you know this one? Kartarpur corridor. Do you have any idea what it is? Huh? Dera Baba Nanak. Okay. So where it was located? Kartarpur Sahib in Pakistan. Like you can say, it is a kind of soft diplomacy, right? You are dealing with the Pakistan. One, generally we have enemy nation, right? So generally it is what? Soft diplomacy, Kartarpur. In the same manner, right? Don't think generally it may be an Hindu element, but don't look in that communal angle. Apart from this angle, you need to focus on the soft diplomacy angle to deal with this Pakistan. So one that is what? Sharada Peeth. Where it was located? In POK. So it is around I think near to the Ladakh. Okay. So we'll discuss regarding this. So that's the reason why it was in the POK, right? If you develop any corridor, right? Where is this one? Corridor. It will boost the relations better. Okay. So next, coming to this Sharada Peeth, we'll discuss about this thing. Is it visible? Sharada Peeth is a temple and ancient. The word here is what? Ancient learning center dedicated to Hindu goddess. Hindu goddess of learning whom? Sharada. Sharada Peeth was between when? 6th to 12th centuries, generally according to the excavations. But if you talk something, if you go deep into that, there is an what you can say, there is a traces at the time of Ashoka also. It's a trace, but it was not proved. But according to the survey, the historical elements, it was saying that. But remember the 6 to, but the date has not yet confirmed. Okay, but there is an the structure which was there, right, at present. This is the present structure of this one. Okay, they are going to revamp all those things. They are going to change the things. Okay, so next, coming to here, where I have stopped. Sharada Peeth was between 6th to 12th century. It is near the confluence of what? Kishan Ganga and Mudumati streams in Sharada village, where very, very important, Neelam Valley. Where is the Neelam Valley? Which state? Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, very important. So there is a river also, that is called Neelam River, where the Sharada Peeth has lied. Why? Because if you see the 2020 or 2019 prelims question, Ajanta caves was located on the banks of which river? Do you have any idea? If anybody have seen that question, 2020 prelims or 2019 prelims, they have asked that question. Ajanta caves was located on which of the following banks of rivers? That is called Wagora River. Same thing, the question can be framed on this also, right? So, rivers. Okay, the archaeological sites which borders the river are the very crucial to ask. For example, Taj Mahal, which river? Taj Mahal? Huh? Yamuna? Golconda? Musi. The temple complex was home to Sharada University of country's oldest university with a faith on, leave this one. The Peeth is also historical place of learning and which formerly on par with the Nalanda and Takshashila ancient sites of learning. Along with teachings, Buddhist religion, history, geography, structural science, logic and philosophy were all. In the Sharada Peeth, there is also teaching of what? So they may frame a question that it is exclusively belongs to the Hinduism. No, right? Next one is, this university has developed its own script. What is the script? Sharada script. It is still is there in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay. So Sharada script belongs to which state? Jammu and Kashmir. So this temple university educated many of the famous scholars from India and neighboring countries. For a few of the very, very important these things. Kalhana, do you know? Kalhana has wrote Rajatarangini. Rajatarangini talks about which kingdoms? Which kingdom, which area? Kashmir area. Okay. Kalhana's Rajatarangini, a book of Kashmir in the Sanskrit. Next one is Adi Shankara, a philosopher who consolidated the doctrine of Advaita. Do you know Advaita means? Any idea? Advaita means what? Non-dualism. There is no 2, 3, 4, 5, 2 crores, 15 crores gods. There is only one God. Okay, that is what? Whether you call Brahma or something, Brahmastra, whatever it may be. Generally, it is a non-dualism. The school talks about. Next one, Kumara Jiva, a Buddhist scholar, a translator, and next one, Tonmi Shambhota, a Tibetan scholar who invented Tibetan script. So Sharada Peeth is one of the 51, very, very important. This is a very, very important. You know how the Shakti Peeths came? out of anger. Who cut that Shakti? Huh? Huh? Shiva or Vishnu? Not Shiva? Huh? Shiva has cut into 51 pieces. Okay, that in that pieces, one piece has fall at this place. That is what? Right hand. Do you know Kamakya temple? Any idea? Where is it? So one of the part also fell there. I think Yoni or something. That is. Okay, there are 51 Shakti Peeths. The shrine was taken up, next one is the shrine was taken up by Pakistan after the partition in 1940. This is the main reason we are talking. So that's the reason of soft diplomacy. The Sharda is the Kuladevi, principal deity of the Kashmiri Pandits. Many people refer to Kashmiri Puravasini, resident of the Kashmir. So there is an, any one of you have watched this series? This Kashmiri Pandits? Kashmir Files. Very interesting, just watch it. Okay. So this could be a basic thing. What's the time? Okay. Sharda Peeth lies on which of the following river? Neelam river. Okay, don't forget, because these are very important things. What's this? COVID-19 pandemics is far from over wants PM. So I'm not talking anything much regarding this COVID because we got exhausted with these COVID topics, right? So I'm talking one single concept, that is called what? Genome sequencing. Very, very important topic. Any one of you know what is this genome sequencing means? Huh? Okay, it's very good data, but if you are in a science background, you know better regarding this one. If you are non-science background, at least you need to know something about your body, right? What is gene, genome, all those things, at least some basic information, right? So I'll tell you very easily, like I'll try my best to explain this concept. So we are made up of lot of cells, right? So take this as a cell. In this cell, what it is? Nucleus. In this nucleus, what are present? Right? Cell. Cell lopale emundi? Nucleus. Nucleus is made up of, and some mitochondria also. So in these chromosomes, right, there are 23 base pairs. You know it, right? So in this chromosome, if you see the structure, it is made up of what? DNA. Everybody has unique DNA, right? So this DNA is what? Double helical structure. So if you see this DNA, right, there is a part of it. If you take this one part of it, it is based on the pairs of this one, A, C, T, G. If you see, color is visible here. So it is what? A, C, T, G. The arrangement of this A, C, T, G line changes your gene structure. Everything will changes. For example, your eye color, eye texture, eye, everything. This, if this A, C, T, G, like AC, I will show you. Wait. So if you see this one, gene segment of the DNA, this is the particle where you can see this one. So this is the arrangement of this one, like this one, different colors. There are a lot of things are there. So got it, just basic information. Wait, I'll show. Yeah. Is it visible? A, G, T, C, 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 like this. The genome, like the DNA is sequenced, like everybody has unique code of this one. Based on this code only, you can generate medicines, everything, the disease treatment can be done through it. So the reason here is you need to know this pair, like this sequence, then only you can detect a new kind of diseases or the potential future diseases, or to treat some rare diseases, or to treat the new upcoming disease, whatever the treatment it may be. Okay, at least you got the basic information. What is chromosomes, where it lies, the DNAs. So what, any doubt? Huh? So basic information you need to know, because very important. So just see this one. What is DNA? Fundamental biological unit of what? Data storage. It comprises long sequence of base pairs, each of which representation of 4 values A, T, C or G. You have seen, right? So DNA ante entante ee elements anni compile ante avi DNA anamata. Where DNA lies? Chromosome. Right. Next one is what? What is next thing is what? Genome. We are now going to talk about this genome. Genome is what? Complete set of DNA sequence. What it means? సో డిఎన్ఏ అంటే ఏంటి, ఒక అలా చైన్ అలానే వెళ్తూ ఉంటుంది. ఒక సెట్ అంటే ఈ ఇండివిజువల్ థింగ్లో, ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఇఫ్ యూ సీ, ఇఫ్ ఇక్కడ దాకా కట్ చేసావనుకో ఈ సీక్వెన్స్ అలానే ఉంటుంది, మళ్ళీ అక్కడ కట్ చేస్తే సేమ్ సీక్వెన్స్. సో ఏదైతే సీక్వెన్స్ అలాగ ఉందో కామన్ సీక్వెన్స్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ వాట్? కంప్లీట్ సెట్ ఆఫ్ డిఎన్ఏ సీక్వెన్స్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ వాట్? జీనోమ్. Very important. This kind of definition they may ask in the exam. In an organism can contain all of the instruction required for that organism to function. Next one, what is genome sequencing means? Genome sequencing is a process that involves, decipher means what? Decode how the pairs are there. Okay, decode the exact order of base pairs in an individual. The deciphering or reading of the genome is called sequencing all about. Got it? What it means genome sequencing ante ento? What is genome? Complete set of DNA. What is genome sequencing? To know exact pair where it is. That's like the, what you can say, the process to find that one. That is called what? Genome sequencing. This is a very basic information, very easy information, at least to attempt this kind of questions. No need of going deep into this kind of topics, because you are not something medical background or something, but at least know these things. What is genome and genome sequence and DNA, chromosomes, all those things. So coming to it, yes. So why we need to do the genome sequencing? What is the reason? Huh? Specific disease treatment, like every disease, like if you know, if you see, for example, TB, where it got affected? Lungs or some other things. For example, lymph nodes. Example, there is an extra pulmonary TB, that is called what? Lymph node TB. If you want to treat that lymph node TB, you need to know exact thing over there, right? What it may. So if you know the exact composition where that TB is affecting, at which place, which DNA it got mutated. Do you know mutation means? Changes. Okay. At that location, if you know the sequence of your genomes, then you can treat that disease very easily. So that's the reason why, if you see this COVID-19, if you see this article, so they are going to do this genome sequencing. They have done it, like in some kind of, they have done it, but they are doing it for the, they are asking to do all over the India. There is a project also which India is going in the process. But remember, importance is for what? Specific disease treatment. Next one is what? To develop New medicines. Do you know the nanotechnology? It's present trend, nanotechnology, nano medicines. Like if you want to do such kind of drug delivery thing, so this genome sequencing will help more. Got it? Next one is what? Precision medicine, the same thing. Next one, to know about origin of the diseases. To treat what? Rare? What are rare diseases? Any idea? This budget talk about a disease. Sickle cell anemia. Sickle cell anemia is the one disease which this budget talk about. I am expecting a question on the sickle cell anemia in the next prelims, I think so, or any rare diseases question in the mains. I am expecting a question, but we'll see. Okay, to treat the rare diseases. Next one, this rare disease are mostly genetic inherited. Right. If you edit in the parents itself, if you edit the things in the parents itself, there is a less chance of getting you this kind of rare diseases. Next one is India specific genome data. Why we need a India specific genome data? So why? Because we not like other countries, the European population, if you see the African population, they have mostly same kind of DNA because ours is a diverse country. So very mixture of different kinds of people are there, right? So we need such kind of data because we are the one populous country. So if you want to deal such kind of diseases, all those things, we need a India specific genome data. So Indian efforts, I'll talk about some, like 2 to 3 efforts are there which were done by the India. India's efforts towards genome sequencing, CSIR, do you know CSIR? Have done the whole genome sequences of novel coronavirus. It's a recent thing. Okay. Prior to that, there are 2 projects. One is called Genome India and Indigen Initiative. Okay, this is something old thing. I saw Genome India. What it does is gene mapping. What is gene mapping means? ఏం లేదు, ఇప్పుడు జీనోమ్ సీక్వెన్స్ చేయడానికి ఈ పేర్స్ ఇక్కడ అని చెప్తారా, అది చేసే ప్రాసెస్సే జీన్ మ్యాపింగ్. లైక్ మ్యాపింగ్ ద థింగ్స్ వేర్ ఇట్ లైస్, వాట్ ఎగ్జాక్ట్లీ ద స్ట్రక్చర్ ఈస్, దట్ ఈస్ కాల్డ్ వాట్? జీన్ మ్యాపింగ్. ఓకే, సేమ్ మ్యాప్ పాయింటింగ్ ఎక్కడ ఉందో ఫైండ్ చేయడం అనేదాన్ని జీన్ మ్యాప్, నథింగ్ మోర్ దాన్ దిస్. సో టు బిల్డ్ ఎ గ్రిడ్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియన్ రిఫరెన్స్ జీనోమ్ to understand fully type and nature of the diseases, traits, everything. So this is an just remember, Genome India is for what? Gene mapping. So next one, done by whom? Center for Brain Research at Bangalore based Indian Institute of Science and as the okay, CBR, Indian Institute of Sciences, where it is? Bangalore. Next, funded by whom? Department of Biotechnology to sequence at least 10,000 Indian genomes. Got it? So this is what Genome India project. Next one is called Indigen project. Same thing, but something extra in law. So by whom? CSIR. So these are participants are there. Okay. The objective is to enable genetic epidemiology and develop public health technologies applications using population genome data. What it means? What it means? యా, జీనోమ్ సీక్వెన్సింగ్ చేస్తారు కదా, చేశాక దాన్ని ఎలా వాడాలి, హౌ టు యూజ్ దట్ డేటా ఆఫ్టర్ డూయింగ్ ద జీనోమ్ సీక్వెన్సింగ్, హౌ టు యూజ్ దట్ డేటా ప్రాపర్లీ, దట్ ఈస్ based on this Indigen project. So Genome India project is for what? Gene mapping. So this Indigen process is for what? Genome sequencing తర్వాత ఏం చేయాలి. Okay, So this is the main project. These two projects which India is going through it. Recently, if you see there, according to the very recent data, do you know this one? Huh? Gene editing tool, CRISPR-Cas9. Do you know any one of you? Huh? Do you have any idea? Yes. So, yeah, he has told the correct thing. But CRISPR-Cas9 is a unique technology that enables geneticists and medical, so nothing much here. So, I'll tell you something, how it works. If you see this, again, what is this one? DNA. Okay. If you see the DNA, there is a protein called what? Cas9 is what? It's a protein. Okay. So, there is gRNA, means guided RNA. Okay. So, guided RNA means if you see at this location there is a fault in the base pairs చెప్పాను ఇందాక ABC ATCG base pairs. Do you remember? No? Okay. So, whatever it may be, in that base pair changes ఉన్నాయి కాబట్టి, so if you want, there is a mutation happened over here. So, through this gRNA we can program the thing, how to change. So, this program, this gRNA is attached to what? Cas9 protein. This Cas9 acts as what? Molecular scissor. అంటే కత్తెర తీసుకుని కొయ్యలేము కదా మనం తీసుకెళ్ళి. So, through the molecular lever, by using this Cas9 as a molecular scissor, by taking this gRNA guided and దీన్ని ప్రోగ్రామ్ చేస్తాం అన్నమాట. ఎక్కడైతే ఏముందో జీనోమ్ సీక్వెన్సింగ్ చేయటం వల్ల we'll come to know there is an issue over here. Okay, we'll take this gRNA by using this both as a thing and place over here, automatically the process can be done. Like molecular level లో ఇంకా దాన్ని కట్ చేసుకొని అదే డీల్ చేస్తుంది అనమాట. Got it? So, it's a very important thing which was already asked in the prelims question also, CRISPR-Cas9 related to what? Because at that time we got there is a Nobel Prize for this CRISPR-Cas9 also. Got it? So, one important recent, very recent thing is snake bite envenoming is a serious and neglected, very important. There may be a potential question on neglected tropical disease. Prepare a notes on the neglected tropical diseases. My sincere suggestion. That kills 10,000 people annually. High quality genome enabled comprehensive characterized of toxin genes will festival development. We report nothing much here. Naja, the Indian cobra, a highly venomous, medically important snake. This got genome sequenced. It's a recent thing. So, Naja is what? Indian cobra. What happened? Genome sequence. So, if you see out of what are the neglected tropical diseases, any idea? Any one of you? So, tropical region, right? We lies in which region? Tropical region. In this tropical region, there are a lot of diseases exclusively belongs to this area. If you go to the poles, you may not encounter such kind of diseases. Mosquito bites వల్ల diseases చాలా వస్తాయి కదా. So, one important is called Japanese encephalitis. Do you know this one? Next one, Kala Azar, Leishmaniasis. Okay. So, ఇవన్నీ important neglected tropical disease. Make a note on this one. So, one important recent what you can say recent data prakaram, just see this prelims question, which of the following diseases has the highest, the word here is what? highest annual deaths worldwide from the neglected tropical diseases. What is this disease? Snake bite. Snake bite envenoming. Very very important. కానీ మనం ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ కూడా చేయం. It is one of the diseases which causes. Okay. So these are all government is treating, but దీని ఏం చేయగలం చెప్పండి మన స్నేక్ ఎన్వెనమింగ్. సో అందుకు ఏంటి అంటే, సో దే హ్యావ్ through using this genome sequencing, they have got this DNA of the particular genome sequence of this snakes. Indian cobra, mostly Indian cobra is the one which is most dangerous, right? So you can develop which drugs? Anti venom drugs to treat this one. So this is the basic information. I think this information is fully loaded for you. I think so. So because at least I don't know, like you may get such kind of information on it, but my, even though మీకు చిరాకు పుట్టినా సరే వినాల్సిందే, even though you feel low, you feel depressed, you feel irritated or something, you need to hear, you need to load this data, because this kind of data is much needed. What's the time? China boosts South Pacific influence with what? Solomon's port deal. This could be like, no, nothing much. Indo-China, China, I've got bored with this thing, but I've got this map based question. So Solomon Islands, right? Solomon Islands located in which of the following sea? South Pacific. Okay, it is, so wait, so if you see this one, Australia's northeast or northwest? Australia's Solomon Islands ekkada unnai? North east, very very important. So it borders Coral Sea, kinda undi, Pacific Ocean paina undi. But they don't ask such kind of questions. They will ask this kind of questions. Honiara port. What port? Which was recently seen in news, is located in the bordering which sea? South Pacific, South China, Indian Ocean, Mediterranean Sea. Where? South Pacific. Because these kind of questions are potential questions of the map based. Okay. సో ఇలాంటి ఎందుకు తీసుకున్నానంటే, వెన్ యు ఆర్ సీయింగ్ సచ్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఆర్టికల్స్, దే డోంట్ గో మచ్ హియర్. డీల్ ఎలా జరిగింది ఏంటి అని అడగడు. దే జనరలీ గో త్రూ వాట్? మ్యాప్ బేస్డ్ క్వశ్చన్స్. గాట్ ఇట్? సో జస్ట్ సీ, ఐ ఫౌండ్ వన్, మౌంట్ మకారకొంబురు. వేర్ ఇట్ లైస్? Solomon Islands. And one recently there is called Bougainville. It is assuming a new country status. Bougainville. Where it lies? Solomon Islands. So it's a very important thing. Got it? What? Anybody of you have watched SAR movie? Huh? How's the movie? Good of what? Good and enti? Explain what that good means. అంటే ఏం నచ్చింది? What you have liked in that movie? స్టోరీనా? ఒక ఎలిమెంట్ నచ్చి ఉంటుంది కదా. వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ ఎలిమెంట్? హీరో క్యారెక్టర్. నువ్వు కూడా సార్ అవ్వాలనుకుంటున్నావా? వాట్? నేను అనుకోవాలన్నా వేనా? రిడ్ ఐ ప్లాన్? నో రైట్. చెప్పలేం, ఇప్పుడు ఏమైనా జరగచ్చు. సార్ అయి బార్కి వెళ్ళచ్చు, ఏమైనా జరగచ్చు. యూట్యూబ్ ఎక్కువ చూస్తారు ఇక్కడ ఎవరన్నా? వాట్ ఈస్ ద రీసెంట్ ఇష్యూ ఇన్ ద యూట్యూబ్? యూట్యూబ్ ఎవరు చూస్తారా? ఎస్టర్డే ఏమైనా ఇష్యూ అని జరిగిందా యూట్యూబ్ ఓపెన్ చేసి? రాహుల్ గాంధీ ఇండియన్ ఆంధ్ర తెలుగు న్యూస్. డూ హ్యావ్ ఎనీ ఐడియా? ఫిలిం న్యూస్. అదేమో కానీ న్యూస్లో మటుకు ఇచ్చి పడేస్తున్నారు. ఫైన్. Old pension scheme as a burden on the poor. So do you know what is the pension general? Social security after retirement. Okay. Generally, prior to the 2004, NPS రాకముందు, NPS means what? National Pension Scheme. ఇది రాకముందు generally the pension is applicable only to the government employees. Now after this it has changed the domain. So according to the recent states like Himachal Pradesh, Chandigarh, Chhattisgarh, I think so, they are going to revert back to this OPS scheme, old pension scheme. The reason is there are a lot of factors, but prior to that, why we need a pension? My question is, why you need a pension? Financial security of whom? Elderly population. Okay, very very important, because in this present generation, ఎందుకు ఉండాలనుకునే present generation, who are looking after their parents particularly or exclusively? Generally there is a trend, joint families are there, but if you see in the urban picture, mostly there is what? Nuclear families, right? So do you watch that movie Shankar Dada Jindabad? Qaidi 150? If you watch that movie, the theme is the same thing, right? What? Old age homes. It's growing, right? So we need to support that elderly population. They needs much care, right? Not only from the monetary benefits, they need some emotional care, everything. Like they become childish when they grow older. When you reach at that cane. So the reason here is, so this data is very very important. So I'm not going to pick like lot of 10-15 points, but in these points at least remember 3 to 4 points, because this is a very general question. Same thing like TB, if they are asking about the elderly question in the mains or prelims, whatever it may be, it's a very general question. So 67 million men and 71 million women, among India's 138 million elderly in 2021. Leave that one. But how many are there? 138 million. Who are more? Women greater than men. This is the grave situation. If you see somewhere or something, Ammamma and Nanamma will there in any one of some house, right? You know, grandmother. Mostly the grandmother will survive. Okay. So life expectancy rate of grandmother is more than grandfather. So we don't know why, because any idea? Early marriage of, I'm not talking life expectancy rate. So men is dying something around 69, she is surviving 71.1 years. What habits? Alcohol and smoking. Okay. Okay.
So they are more prone to the diseases like diabetes and hypertension.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not going to go into that controversy. I'm not. మీకేం తెలిస్తే చెప్పండి. ఎవరి తిరిగి వాళ్ళకు ఉంటాయి. So I am not going to deal with these things. So coming to here, the proportion increased to 10.1% in 2021 and is likely to increase how much? 13%. So 138 million. At least remember nearly 140 million elderly population. Next one is what? Women is greater than men. Next one is what? 13.1% may increase when? 2031. Change this one, 1331. Okay. So the Kerala has the highest proportion of the elderly people. Which state has the highest proportion? Kerala, followed by Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh. Because why I have picked this data? Because very important in the society related answers. So next, as per the UN estimates, India's life expectancy, which is presently of 70.19 years, 70 ఏళ్ళు బతుకుతారు, ఏం చేస్తారు బతికి. So coming to this, so that's the reason why we need a protection or social security scheme. But we are going to discuss comparing the both old pension scheme and the new national pension scheme. So if you see this old pension scheme, I will tell you a small example. For example, at the time he is a government employee. Last drawn salary when he is going at the time of retirement, it's based on his basic pay. So that is something around 20,000. At his retirement, he has last drawn salary of how much? 20,000. So according to the old pension scheme, the 50% should be given as what? Pension monthly. This is the old pension scheme. Apart from this 50%, there is one thing called DA, dearness allowance. Why? Because the inflation is increasing, right? Based on that inflation, this 50% means only the 10,000. He cannot survive with this 10,000 like for 10 years, right? So this DA is revised every 2 years. Okay, this is the basic data regarding this old pension scheme. So which was followed till 2004. Okay. So next coming to what? National pension scheme. So in this you need to there are lot of provisions came in this national pension scheme. It is what? Voluntary in nature. It is for self-employed also and unorganized also. But this old pension scheme is for only government employees. So these are the new members added to this one. Next one, the contribution is very important. So what is the difference between employee and employer? Employee means worker, owner is employer. Okay, what is the employee's contribution? 10%. Employer contribution 14%. Okay, next one is this NPS is linked with what? Market linked. Why? I'll tell about this one. So got it right? This data, basic data. Next, if you see, this NPS account is managed by PF or DA. What is this one? Regulatory Development of Authority of India, PFRDA. Okay. So according to this NPS, it's what? Two-tier structure. There are two components in that single NPS account. There are two components. One is what? Pension account, that is called Tier 1 account. Next one is what? Optional account, that is what? Tier 2 account. So in this pension account Tier 1, no limit you can invest. ఎంత ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయొచ్చు. మంత్లీ యూ కెన్ ఇన్వెస్ట్ లైక్ ఎనీథింగ్. అర్లియర్ ఓపీఎస్లో ఏముంటుంది? వాట్ ఈస్ ఇన్ ద అర్లియర్ స్టేజ్? 50% వస్తుంది. సో దెర్ ఈస్ యూ ఆర్ నాట్ గోయింగ్ టు ఇన్వెస్ట్ ఎనీథింగ్. గవర్నమెంట్ ఈస్ డూయింగ్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్ done by the government only. It is not something voluntary, it is done by dealing with that only. So when you got the government job, but it's not, it's a voluntary thing, right? You need to invest. So no limit you can invest. Must minimum how much? 1,000 per year. Okay. So next one, is there any tax free? Yes. So up to 1.5 lakh tax free, and additional there is also 50,000 also tax free. So overall there could be something around 2 lakhs tax free, the invested amount. Okay. So next, one, there is an optional account similar to what? Mutual fund. Any idea mutual fund means? Something, do you know shares, right? Shares, bonds, all those things. What you generally do is, you will pool some money and invest there. They have some bond value, face value. At the time of maturity, you will get some interest based on that interest. So it is the account. One is in the pension account. Another is what? Optional account, where this amount, something amount will be there. That amount is credited into that mutual funds like thing. You will get some interest. Got it? So it is not tax free. These are two components in this one. If you see, I'll show you this one. So after the retirement, these two classifications are there, right? An employee can withdraw a part, not full, part of the pension amount in a lump sum according to the rule. 60% of the corpus on maturity is tax free. Like for example, 100 rupees, right? In this 60% is what? Tax free. While the remaining 40% is taxable and must be invested in the annuities for the regular income or the pension. సో అందుకని చెప్పి 2 అకౌంట్స్ తీశారు, ఒకటి ఇన్వెస్ట్ చేయడానికి, ఒకటి మీకు రావడానికి. గాట్ ఇట్? సో ఎన్పిఎస్ ఈస్ మ్యాండేటరీ అప్లికబుల్ టు సెంట్రల్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ జనరల్లీ. ఓకే. ఎక్సెప్ట్ హూమ్? ఆర్మ్డ్ ఫోర్సెస్ రిక్రూటెడ్ ఆన్ ఆఫ్టర్ 1st January తర్వాత, ఎక్సెప్ట్ దిస్ క్లాజ్ ఈజ్ ఇంపార్టెంట్. ఓకే. స్టేట్ గవర్నమెంట్స్ ఆల్సో ఫాలో. ఓకే. ఆల్ సిటిజన్స్ బిట్వీన్, వాట్ ఈస్ ద ఏజ్ బ్రాకెట్? 18 to, why this 18? చైల్డ్ లేబర్ కింద తక్కువ చైల్డ్ లేబరే కదా, దట్స్ ద రీజన్. మేజర్ మైనర్ కాదు. సో ఇఫ్ యూ సీ, సో విల్ టాక్ అబౌట్ సమ్ క్రిటిసిజమ్స్ రిగార్డింగ్ దిస్ వన్. So obviously at this present situation, there is a share of pension of the state's expenditure will be increased, obviously, right? So there is a two components. One is dealing by the employee, employer e contribution unta undi. So while they are investing in some funds, they are getting some returns, all those things process is there. But it is entire burden on whom? Government itself. 50%. Evaru ivvali? State itself. Understood? డౌట్ ఉందా? 50%, who is giving the 50%? State itself giving the 50% right to you. Next one is no pension specific corpus. So there is a pension specific corpus in NPS, but is no pension specific corpus in this one. అంటే ఇంత తీసి పెట్టాలని ఏం లేదు. At the time of year and అయిపోంగ అప్పుడు ఎక్స్పెండిచర్ బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద బడ్జెట్. జనరలీ వాట్ దే విల్ డూ ఇస్ బడ్జెట్ చూస్తారు. బడ్జెట్లో ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఈ 2023కి దేర్ ఆర్ సంథింగ్ 60 million పీపుల్, 60,000 పీపుల్ అనే వాళ్ళు రిటైర్ అయ్యారనుకో. సో ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ దిస్ 60,000 విల్ చేంజ్, రైట్? 70,000, 80,000. If lot of people has something around 1 lakh people retire and this obviously budget will be increased, right, in that year. But in the NPS it's not like that. You know when they are going to retire, when their interest rates will be, what are the process will be, you know exactly. There is a corpus fund also, you need to set aside the thing. Got it? So firstly, no pension specific corpus, only benefited few. Government and 20 years paina unna vallake, అంటే సర్వీస్ 20 years పైన చేసిన వాళ్ళకే, సర్వీస్ విచ్ హ్యాస్ క్రాస్ 20 years, దే గాట్ బెనిఫిటెడ్ బై దిస్ ఓపీఎస్. నెక్స్ట్ వన్, రెగ్రెసివ్ రీడిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్. దిస్ ఆర్టికల్ విచ్ వీఆర్ టాకింగ్, రైట్, దిస్ ఆర్టికల్ మెయిన్లీ టాకింగ్ అబౌట్ ద రెగ్రెసివ్ రీడిస్ట్రిబ్యూషన్. వై? బికాస్ if you see the taxpayers, right, if you see same this component, So obviously tax is paid by whom? Everybody will pay the tax. But ultimately this tax is going through whom? These using this, but no specific fund like this, right? So they are using this tax amount directly giving to these government employees, even though like our PPP is very less. So if you are giving more, it will drain your expenditures more. So it is what? Regressive in its distribution. This is the one criticism they are talking about, the criticism about this OPS. So but there are also another criticisms for this new national pension scheme also. What are those? Now states to set aside. So already some states are loss making, right? They need to set aside some amount of the fund. Got it? It creates some burden on it. Next one, pension benefits determined by. So these are the determinant factors. Earlier there are no determinant factors, right? So how much contribution you made, based on that they need to follow the thing. Age of joining, type of investment, income drawn from the investment. These are the factors you need to look after it when you are dealing with this NPS. There are lot of glitches, right? Some may change the age of joining. It will be possible, right? Some may change the type of investment. They'll takku penchukoni tax tagginchukodaniki. So lot of factors will be done, right? So these are some criticism for this NPS. So by seeing this one, just tell me like which could be a good one. It should be blend. What if you ask me, it should be blend of both, not only like what you can say exclusive is NPS, exclusive is OPS. It should be blend of something, then it could be cater different audience. Got it? Yeah, I forgot to tell this one. PFRDA, Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority, it is a statutory authority. Parliamentary relations oversee to promote the guarantee of, it is administered by very important. PFRD governed by which ministry? Ministry of, okay, not Ministry of Social Justice Development, all those things. Ministry of Finance. It is responsible for appointing several intermediary organizations, including the Central Records Keeping Agency, pension fund managers and others. It also manages Atal Pension Yojana. Very important. Make a note of this. Go home and make a note of this Atal Pension Yojana. In addition to development, promoting and regulating the pension market under the NPS. So just remember, PFRD is a statutory body. Comes under which ministry? That's it. Which of the following statements are regarding the national pension scheme? It is now mandatory for the unorganized employees to subscribe to NPS. Voluntary. Okay. Employees contribution is 14% and employers contribution is 10% respectively. Employee. Okay. Can draw a pension of 50% of the basic final pay at his/her retirement of the last grant salary. It is regarding for what? OPS. Okay. So the question here is the time ripe again to step back from present national pension scheme to old pension scheme? Discuss. Step back cheyala. So when we are answering this question, you need to talk about both the criticisms, like positives and negatives of both the schemes. In the conclusion, you need to give what way forward? It should be a blend of both. Got it? Very important. ప్రతి 1 month కి ఒకసారి వస్తుంది దీని గురించి. Next one, any one of you has participated recently MLC polls? Andhra? It's a great privilege. Power calls, not Pawan, Power calls for what? Remote voting. Remote EVM, electronic voting machine. Why? Because the main issue is migrants. Migrants are whom? Poor people. They are unable to travel for single vote. So వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడో మహారాష్ట్రలో ఉంటారు, they will need to come for Andhra or something, whatever it may be. సో ఇఫ్ యూ సీ అట్ ద ఎలక్షన్ టైమ్స్ బస్సు రేట్లు కూడా ఎక్కువ ఉంటాయి. There is an increase in the fares of bus, trains, each and everything. You cannot find right. So that's the because of that a lot of people are unable to vote. The main reason is. So if you see the migrant issue, next one 30 crore electors did not exercise their voting rights. This is the one basic fact you need to remember. So for this one, they are going to bring this remote e-voting. Nothing change over a normal thing over here. Normal, say it is like same voting only, but one important change is what? Will have an electronic ballot. What it has? Electronic ballot instead of fixed paper sheet. This is the one change. So in this EVM, there is and can handle how many constituencies? 72 constituencies from the single polling booth. It is standalone device. Voter register online or offline. Multi constituency remote polling is set up. That is nothing much here, but you need to remember one thing is changed, that is what? Electronic display. So what is the question here? See this one. Which of the following statements are incorrect regarding the remote EVM? They are like conventional EVMs. One main difference is they need internet connectivity. So whatever the EVM may be, so the word here is what I have mentioned is stand alone. It means it doesn't require any internet connectivity. Remember, I have told you, right, process is everything is same. One thing is changed is what? Electronic ballot with display instead of this paper sheets. That's it. So they are like conventional. This EVM will have electronic ballot unit instead of fixed ballot paper sheet. Is it correct? Huh? So you are asking about what? First one is right, second one is wrong. If the word is correct, so ilanti easy questions say a word changing lo you will fall into the trap. My suggestion, why I am telling, because why I have selected, even though it looks very easy, they will change your, they will play with your mindset. Incorrect, correct statements. Just please look after those things. So what are the topics left? Fine. I'll cover this topic very fastly because it's still in the news. So we'll discuss in the later parts also. But prior to this, just I'll tell you some. There are two articles which was talked about this one. One is what? Defamation. Another is what? Disqualification. Both has some link with it. So that's the right. We can both the things we can talk about. So prior to this, we'll first of all we'll talk about the defamation. Defamation means what? In the starting of our discussion, we talked about, right? Whatever it may be, if you are criticizing others, manobhavalu. Do you know the meaning of manobhavalu? Any idea? It hurts you, hurts deep. Self-respect, whatever that may be. Defamation is an act of communicating false statements about a person that injure the reputation of that person when observed through the eyes of an ordinary man. Okay, any false and unprivileged statement published, the word here is what? It could be like an written or spoken. Okay, next one, deliberately, intentionally, knowingly, with the intention to damage someone's reputation is what? Defamation. Why this defamation was in the news? What? Rahul Gandhi. Okay, so you know the information, right? So you need to know what is defamation. So that's the reason. What is the meaning of the defamation? There are in India two defamations are there. One is what? Civil, criminal. So generally, if you file any civil defamation, you can where you can file high court or subordinate court. Can expect main theme here is what? Monetary and no Punishment. 2 words you need to remember. Very, very important. They will play with you like anything. Civil and criminal. For civil, monetary benefit expect chesi antaru. If you file something, so there is what? No punishment. అంటే మీకు మీరు మాట్లాడుకుని డబ్బులు ఇచ్చి సెట్ చేసుకోండి అంటారు. సో జనరల్లీ ఇఫ్ యూ మెట్ విత్ యాక్సిడెంట్, యూ జనరల్లీ డీల్ విత్ దేర్ రైట్ గివింగ్ 1000 rupees, or you got stopped in challan, police traffic, you deal with such kind of things. It is like civil defamation. Next, the criminal defamation, very, very important. Here comes a very important thing. According to the IPC section, there are 2 sections. One is what? 499 and section 500. These sections are very important. States defamation could be through what? These wordings are important. So I can raddam anukunnanu gaani, but these words are very important. If you miss a single word, they can play with you. The words spoken or intended to be read through signs. The word here is signs also, right? And also through visible representation. Ante some people will draw the caricatures, do you know? Tali ila petti, ila petti, ikkada Modi and right, something al rastaru kada. Generally, yeah. If you see, it is like something defamation case was laid on MS Dhoni also. I think so. There is a cover page of, I think, Outlook or some magazine. If you see the Modi, like not Modi, Dhoni image, I think so, he has placed with Ravanasura or something, Dashavatara. So there is a religious sentiment at that time. There is that defamation case also there on Dhoni. Last 2 to 3 years back, I think so. But there are a lot of defamation cases you can see. So coming to the section 499, what is this? Also says exceptions. These includes, there are some what? Exceptions. What are these exceptions according to this 499? So include imputation of truth which is required for public good and thus has to be published on the public conduct. Nothing much here. Just remember Article 19. What is Article 19? Freedom of speech and expression, right? So defamation is like you are telling something, right? So if there is an Article 19 clause 2, it talks about reasonable restrictions, but up to a limit. So there are some exceptions, means Article 19 are there, but there are some reasonable restrictions. When you are talking something, you need to be careful. The word here is, so there is a link with what? Article 19. Next one, there is an Article 21 also, we will talk about that one. So coming to this IPC 500, what is this section 500? Which is on punishment for the defamation, reads, whoever defames another shall be punished with simple imprisonment for a term which may be extended to what? What is the maximum limit? 2 years. This is for what? Criminal or civil? Yeah, criminal. Okay. So actually why it was in the news, because there is a controversy whether to remove this defamation from the IPC or to place the, like, to stay that IPC like defamation into this IPC book. Do you want to remove or do you want to place it? Means you need to talk about for and negative regarding this defamation, right? Okay. Why? Because there are concerns regarding this, like overall I am talking about all this defamation thing. Why? Because it is a draconian law. What is this draconian law? Old law, which was APC 1860, but there are a lot of changes. So many have requested to change this, to amend these things. Next one was against to, I have told you, right, reasonable restrictions. Next one is what? Very, very important, that is called right to, very important. This is a potential. I am thinking whether this question will come in the next prelims. Right to reputation comes under which of the following article of Indian Constitution? What? Article 21 is for what? Right to Okay. So next one is what? Digital world. In this digital world, we don't know, right? Facebook comments, YouTube comments, Insta comments, whatever the comments, you cannot trace them, right? But you may get hurt, right? But in such cases, we need it, right? But it should be amended, but we need it. Got it? Next one is harassment. Like కావాలని రెచ్చగొట్టి చేసే కూడా ఉంటాయి కదా. Like if you keep on, the argument goes on with you and them, somebody will burst out. In that bursting out, they may spoke something vulgar language, right? So it's a voluntary thing also, right? కావాలని you can do it, right? It's a possibility, right? Generally the parliament will happen, everything will happen, same thing in the parliament, right? Harassment. Next one is democratical aspect. Why? Any idea? What is the democratical aspect regarding this one? Yeah, suppresses dissent also. There are a lot of, like for example, democracy is what? Liberty to speak something against to the government. There is scope, right? You need to talk about the dissent aspect. So if you are what you can say, not giving a space to talk about, it's not about defamation. Generally you need to talk something, right? You can talk. So next one is against global norms. If you see, the UK has removed this defamation. Okay, these are the main things regarding this one. Based on that you can frame a thing. So the question can be, in the era of globalized world, is defamation is unconstitutional or constitutional? Comment. So you need to talk about two sides. Okay, in the conclusion, what could be your conclusion? What are the changes? I can write there. Just from your side, just tell me some, at least what are the changes you can do to deal with defamation? Section 499, section 500 are two things, right? What you can change in the section 499, 500? I am asking your inputs. Huh? So you can reduce the sentence, right? Or you can find more, or blend of both. Like you can change, like think from your perspective. I am asking your perspectives because your perspectives are much needed. You are going to answer the exam, right? I am not going to tell, right, each and everything. So just my suggestion is, go home, try to write an answer for this one. So what's the time? 2. Okay. So I am going to end this one. This is going to complete in just 2 or 5 minutes. So divergence views on what? Disqualification. Okay. So do you know disqualification, the word, like the theme disqualification was mentioned in the constitution? Is disqualification mentioned in the constitution of India? Yes or no? Yes. According to the article 102 and 191. 102 is related to central government, 191 is for what? State government. Okay. So how a person like this can be disqualified? Holding office of profit. Do you know the office of profit means? Any idea? Office of profit. And government, apart from doing that government job, you are doing some private jobs and you are helping these private things, all those things, right? And you are expecting some corruption, monetary benefits from different things. It can also comes under what? Office of profit. Next one, unsound mind. Ante not mentally retarded. Ela padthe ala cheste. Like whatever he like, he does. Like if you are going, if you are beating somebody on the road, you should not do like that, right? So not a citizen of India or voluntarily acquired citizenship of other country. So next, very important, the controversy, like the trend, like which you are talking about, this one is what? Disqualified by what? Law made by Parliament. Okay, this is applicable to both 191 and 102. So you may think in the state subject, so disqualified by the law made by the state legislature. You may think that they may frame like this one, state legislature only. No, it is law of land. Parliament can frame the law of land. So it is, this law can also be applicable to MLAs also. Got it what I am saying? So if you see, so coming to here, so that law, what is that law? That law is what? Representation of, what is that law? Representation of People's Act 1951. So in this there are two sections. One is section 8.3 and 8.4. So these are in the news. That's why I have picked these sections, because RBI is an 100% important topic for both prelims and mains. If you see 2 years, within 2 years, 3 years span, you can expect a question from RBI. If you see, they have asked in 2020, what are the changes you can do in the RBI Act 1950? You may expect a question also 2023 also. Okay, coming to here. So if you see, okay. So see here 8.4, what this 8.4 talks about, it means charge sheeted MP or MLA will be immediately disqualified without giving 3 months time for appeal. Earlier in the 8.4 section, there is a 3 months time for appeal. For whom? MP or MLA who got charge sheeted. So at least how much time they have to appeal? Earlier 3 months time. So there is a case. What is the case name? Very, very important case. Cases are very important. Lily Thomas case. Okay. So what this Lily Thomas case talks about? So it is not giving this 3 months time. So you are treating, then it is linked with what? Article 14 means what? Right to equality. Earlier there is 3 months space to appeal. So if anybody want to disqualify or something has happened, not only some institution you got disqualified, so you need to judge both on the equal levels, right? So same here is. So in this Lily Thomas case, they have removed this 3 months time period. So it is Article 14 inclined. So next there is a clause called 8.3 of the RPA mandates that an MP can be disqualified if convicted, sentenced to at least 2 years of imprisonment. So disqualified MP ఎంతవరకు చేయొచ్చు? 2 years చేయొచ్చు. But if he is more than 2 years,
6 years he can't pay.
2 years, it's not 6 years, 2 years.
6 years?
2 years. Why? Because do you know Jagan Reddy sir? Jagan Reddy sir, CM of Andhra Pradesh. Do you know him, right? Yes, Jagan Reddy sir. So if you see him, he has in the jail for at 1.8 months, I think so. 1 year 8 months. So if he has crossed 2 years, he is not eligible to participate in the election according to the RPA Act. Just go through it and see it. 2 years only the limit. Okay. So that's the reason why if it is more than 2 years, it will be another controversy, right? Okay. So just remember the sections 8.3, 8.4. 8.4 is struck down by which case? Lily Thomas case 2013. So next coming to here, there is another case called what? 2018 Lok Prahari case, which said on appeal if the conviction is suspended, then the disqualification will also be suspended. What it means? if he got convicted, two things here. Conviction is different, disqualification is end stage. Firstly you need to get convicted, then only you will get disqualified. So if this is removed, automatically disqualification will be suspended. So which case talks about it? Lok Prahari case. So I have taken only very simple things. These are much needed for exam, much needed for your exam. That's why if I want to take something 1 or 2 hours class or for this disqualification only, but these are much needed. Just tell me the article numbers. 102, 191. Next one, which RPA? 1951, section 3 and section 4. Section 3, which case? 3 months removed. Okay, section 4 talks about 2 years imprisonment. Lok Prahari case talks about if this conviction is suspended automatically. Got it? So if you know this data, it would be very helpful to deal with the thing. Got it?
Sir, if person is convicted more than 2 years, so he can't be participating in the election for
Yes.
6 years.
Yes, that's the reason I am telling you. The span is there, but you need to 2 years. You should not be convicted for 2 years.
2 years.
Then it is impossible for to get into the elections after 6 years. Got it? Okay, fine. Thank you for bearing me 2 hours. Even though I am telling you, even though you get irritated, bored, whatever the thing you may feel, just put this information in your mind. In the later phases, you will feel it, the difference. Got it? Thank you very much. Have a happy Sunday.